my name is Schaefer Reed. I am a senior currently at Caltech and one of the software engineers for Serenify, and I will be showing you the basic functionality of our application. So here we have Serenify's homepage. See the sign up page. We do have support, features, about us, terms of use. If you'd like a full sitemap with all the images, I can send it over, but it's not very prudent for the demo right now. So one thing we do to differentiate ourselves from competitors is we have the users upload an image of their driver's license as well as a photo of themselves. Now I'm going to start by putting in a photo that's clearly not me, and we'll see that it will fail. Now we're using an open source software called OpenFace, which is using OpenCV2 to compare the images and return a value between 0 and 2, 0 being an identical match, 1 being roughly the threshold for a match. So give it a second to run the script. Now, as you can see here, I will get this error message. Your photo ID does not match your picture. Please try again. So the next thing we're doing is once the photo does match, the second script we're running is an OCR using another open source software called Tesseract, which is comparing what I inputted here to what I inputted here. So if I go and switch this with something that's definitely not my information, you will also see, even though this is a match, it then fails. And this is important because if these photos matched, but then we didn't match what was on the license with what was in here, we would still have faulty data. So they kind of go hand in hand. And one thing to note is that OpenFace, being open sourced, is constantly updating. It's currently trained on about 500,000 images, but over time it's getting better and better. So now you can see your inputted information does not match the value in your license. Please try again, and remember to take a photo with no shadows. So now I come to the final use case, which is a user has properly uploaded the driver's license as well as an image of himself. And you will see that we do create a free profile as expected. So give it some time to run both of the scripts. And thank you for signing up. Before you sign in, you must verify who you are by clicking a link which is sent to your email. If you still need that link, click here. Now I've turned that off for the demo, but it's very basic. It sends an email to you, click here, it takes you to the sign-in page, and now you're able to sign in. So, and also note the last 4 SSN, that's not used to sign in until you have inputted an SSN, but I'll get to that later. So here we have a free Serenify account. The only information that is shown is information we verified, Jared Reed, May 8th, 1995, and my location. So the first step a user will do is upgrade to basic account. Now the basic account comes with National Criminal Search, Sex Offender Registry, terrorist watch list, and SSN trace for the name verification. So this is pretty standard background check data. One thing to show, if I put in a social that's not mine, it will fail because first we run the SSN to get all the aliases, then we run the background check on all the aliases linked in with that social security number. And also down here we have the functionality for promo codes. This was mainly if we wanted to give people codes so that they could test it out for free, but this functionality, this is sort of for us to test. It probably won't be in the MVP, but we do have the availability for that. So right now we're actually calling our data provider, and as you can see there's a conflict between your name and the input SSN. As we have to access data in order to find it, you still have been charged. Now this is a business decision that might change in the future, but for now, since we're actually taking cost to run this check, we're just passing that cost on to the user. And we're using Stripe as our payment processing, so none of the sensitive data is stored on our databases, and we're also not storing the SSNs on our databases, but I'll get into that in a second. So now we have a basic account. Now you can see it's added criminal records, sex offense records, and watch list records. Now for me, they're all clean, as we imagine most users will be. And I do have examples of users with hits to show you after finished going through the functionality. So the next step is plugins. These are what differentiate a user beyond the basic account. The first is a county criminal search. In the background checking industry, the standard is the past 3 counties. However, I've only lived in 1 county my entire life, so I can only choose that 1 county, Miami-Dade. But for users with more than 1 county, they can move this slide bar around and go back as far as they want in descending order of previous counties they lived in. There's also education verification and DMV records. Those are not fully implemented yet, but that's what we're currently working on. So we submit this, and now come to another payment page. And now we've added in the county search. Now one thing to note is it's not instant because it takes a second to query our provider to get that information from them. But if I refresh the page, now you can see down here, county, Miami-Dade, Florida, beginning Omni. Omni is one of our many providers for county searches. The thing with county searches is they must be done in person. They're not pulling against the database as with these. So it does take some time to complete, but if you were to check back later, this will get updated with the information once the search has been run. So that's the basic functionality for a Serenify account. Now we do have small other features to add in, such as adding in your phone number. We're using Twilio to go through that. So here I've put in it, and I've just received a text with my confirmation code. Sorry, I'm sick. And now you can see here my phone number has been added. One other thing we do is we have the option to add a LinkedIn account, Facebook account. We're gonna add in others. So now we go through the OAuth2 protocol, put in my LinkedIn information, and my LinkedIn account will be linked. Now this is very similar to how Serenify is going to link with the businesses that we are integrated with. We'll have on their websites a very similar thing, sign in with Serenify, and they'll get the sign in, the Serenify thumbprint along with the link to their Serenify profile, and so you click on it, it takes you over there. Oh, I can't because I'm still not signed in, but as you can see, it took me to my LinkedIn profile. And a little final thing is a 24-hour shareable link. In the future, we're going to add in a full-time link, but for now, we just have a 24-hour one. But the important thing to note is when you do go look at this 24-hour shareable link, it's the same thing as a basic account, or as the user sees, without the bells and whistles. So it's taking out all these options, functionality for the user, and just showing what is relevant for someone who wants to view the profile. And then last thing to state, as I was saying, with the Social Security, we're not storing it. We're actually encrypting the first 5 digits of the SSN, then hashing the last 4. So then when the user logs in, once they have a social, we run the inputted last 4 SSN. We check the last 4 versus the hash of the last 4, decrypt the encrypted, and use that to create a full social. So we're never storing the socials of the user. But as you can see, now that I've inputted my social and we have it, you need it to log in because there's sensitive data. And the final thing I'd like to show you is just quite simply what a user with a hit looks like. So Kilik Shamir is our test terrorist watch list that was given to us by our data provider. So as you can see here, watch list records 5, and you can see the various watch lists he's on. Now of course these test users are pretty extreme. No one is really like this. Same with Portia Spicer, she's our test criminal. As you can see, she has 10 criminal records. And this is the basic what we show for a criminal record. We have the date, the court name, the charge, the disposition, and the whether it's a misdemeanor or felony, the classification. So as you can see, we have all her guilty cases, when they were, the basic relevant information you need to know about a court case. So that's Serenify. If you have any questions, please let me know.